So we are about an hour's drive north of Auckland, and this is the beautiful Mahurangi harbour. When I think about it, I don't know how many oysters that I've purchased or consumed from this part of the world, but it's literally hundreds of dozens. I wanted to bring you here because to us, the team at Freshcatch, it's just super important that we connect you with where the product's coming from. And if you get oysters from Freshcatch, you get them from Lisa and Nod. I've got my shaka, and I'm going to introduce you to them right now. Hey guys. Lisa, how are you, my dear?
Great, how are you? Nice to see you.
All right, Noddy. Oh, keep bringing in a bit of an oyster hug. How are you, mate? Good. Let's go oystering. Look at this. I guess New Zealand had native rock oysters for a long time, and what's the difference between a native rock oyster and I guess you call them a Pacific oyster, and then there's a flat or a dredge oyster?
Yeah, the native rock oyster and the Pacific oyster are really similar. They have really similar biology and habitat, whereas the bluff's a different creature altogether. She's a bottom dweller, whereas these guys are intertidal.
And I mean, look around, there's literally millions of oysters around us, isn't there?
Millions.
And so, you know, you're not only growing them, it's seasonal, I guess, and then it's finding a home for them as well.
Yeah. Well, because we harvest all of our oysters fresh each day and transport them off that same day, you know, we've got to have a good market.
So literally the order comes in, you process it, talk to the farm, get what you need, comes out of the water, cleaned up.
Goes, same day.
And Lisa, what's your role in the farm?
Well, I used to work on the farm all the time with Nod, but once we got busier, I took care of maybe clients and marketing and making sure the orders got out and all those kinds of things now, and then just probably going around and selling and talking the story too.
For people to understand the process of farming an oyster, talk us through the year.
In the winter time, they put on fat. Come summer, they turn that fat into eggs, and they do what's called broadcast spawning, where they shoot the eggs and sperm into the water column, and it's kind of random fertilisation.
So they're just floating
around. They're not attached to their parents, and they actually have about a 4-week larval stage where they look a little bit like a tiny shrimp, I suppose. And then after that, their egg yolk kind of runs out, so they look for somewhere to land. They tend to be attracted to fresh water or lower salinities because they know that that's where there's going to be some rocks for them to wash up on. We put bundles of sticks for them to land on, and it creates a sheltered environment for them to get started. And after about 4 months, the oysters are maybe 12 mil across, and we can put those sticks out to grow on the farm, space them out. And then 12 months after that, we harvest them. We do it on a rotation so that we can harvest for the restaurants for as much of the year as possible.
I mean, people might go, oh, an oyster's an oyster, but what makes a Mahurangi oyster special?
Well, I mean, every growing area, every harbour is a little bit different. The Mahurangis, we've got a lovely mixture of fresh water and salt water coming in here. The oysters live on algae, and they need that, the algae needs a bit of nutrient coming off the land. New Zealand's a really young country, so it's always shedding stuff into the sea constantly. Like in Europe, the oysters take probably twice as long to grow as they do here because of the amount of food we've got here. We've got this lovely green river.
When we're sitting here shucking it, it's not to some people shucking an oyster is slightly intimidating.
I reckon it's but it shouldn't be. It's a skill that pretty much every French person has. One of the telltale signs of a fresh oyster is this water that comes out of it as soon as you crack the shell. That means it's alive and well.
You've got to eat them like this. You've got to shuck them to get the flavour profile and really enjoy something that is simply incredibly special. And for these to arrive at your doorstep, you know, we can sell you a shucking knife. You can buy shucking knives. Maybe you need some band-aids nearby when you're first starting. But seriously, it's fun. It's not that hard to shuck them, and the results just speak for themselves. And to have a bunch of people come round on a Friday evening, open a beautiful bottle of Chardonnay or a Sauvignon Blanc, nice cold, I guess, craft beer, and to sit around and doing exactly what we're doing, shucking live Mahurangi oysters that have been in the water basically a day ago. It's an experience that is simply world class, and I beg you to learn how to shuck, because you'll never look back. And these are absolutely extraordinary. Congratulations.
Thanks, Al.
Good job.
We love doing it.